All right, we got a lot to cover, so we're gonna get started instead of waiting until 10:05 today. Let's go ahead and get going. Let me know real quick in the chat if you guys can hear me. And all right, we got a lot to cover, so we're gonna get started instead of waiting until 10:05 today. Let's go ahead and get going. Hold on one second. Let me know real quick in the chat if you guys can hear me.
I can hear you.
All right, cool. All right, so here's the first thing that we're going to cover. On the app, you guys, obviously I'm on my desktop, so it looks a little different. But on the app, when you log in, you're taken to the screen that says Discover. What you're going to do is you're going to click on where it says Learn. And what you're going to see the first time you click it, is that you're going to see something that looks like this, okay? What we're also going to do for this app is we will also allow you guys to see the live recordings. So where it says Apprenticeship Live, you can just hit live right there and it will show. So like right now, this is live and see my screen, blah, blah, blah. It's a real thing, okay? There's a little bit of a delay because technology, all that good stuff, okay? But that's how you can find it in the future. Again, and another thing for the recordings that we have, give it about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so after our meeting, but you'll be able to go here. You can either click this Google Sheet, which will open up like such and allow you to actually click on all the recordings. Or when you go back to the app, you just select the month, okay? And then you're able to see all the recordings. And what will happen is, as let's say I watch this one, for example, I have the notes that took place during that recorded session. I can listen to the audio, so if I'm working out or driving. And then when I hit complete, it will also show up in my profile that I just completed that, right? Last activity, blah, blah, a few seconds ago, completed, okay? So that is tracked for you as well. All right, any questions about that real quick? No? All right, cool. Now, I'm gonna share with you guys a few things and then we're gonna go into some deal analysis. Number one, so Hank and let's see, for about 2 or 3 years, what I did was every other week, I would go ahead and give free information to people, right, about investing. I did this across like 5 or 6 different groups, okay? And as you can see, like some of the groups have 900 members, others have 700, and there's like, again, 3 other groups that we have, all right? What would happen is out of, let's say, 900 people, again, this was free. This is something that I would reserve a room for or a location for. I would get food, all that stuff, right, set up. And it was free. It was open to the public. Anyone could join. And out of the 900 people that actually did it, they actually would show up, you know, and not all 900 would show up, by the way. But all the people that would show up, only 3 people would actually do what I told them to do, okay? All right, and that's actually how I initially met Ken, was by me offering those free events, all right? Now, I'm saying this to say the following. Many people will claim, they will cry, they will whine, they will complain, and say that they want an opportunity to do better. But when the opportunity presents itself, they don't. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys another example. So that's a live example. These are things I literally did for years. Okay. I haven't recorded all these sessions. as well. But give you guys an actual example real quick. So when we first started in August, I told you guys about the parable of the sower and the seed. Now, here's the thing. With this parable, as you guys can see here, you can let someone else break it down for you. See, one thing, I'm making it up. But it says the parable is a man that went out to sow grain, aka seed. The meaning is the man represents God and the seed is his message. Now, here's the thing. You guys let me know in the chat. Do you think there's something wrong with the seed? And I'll wait for the chat.
You have to grow the seed. You got to water it.
Okay. My question is there something wrong with the seed?
No.
No.
Thank you. So if there's nothing wrong with the seed, and if, because this is, in this example, God sowing the seed. So if God is sowing seed and there is some soil where the seed just does not grow, there's other soil where the seed doesn't even make it into the ground, right? So there's nothing wrong with the seed. Therefore, there's something wrong with the what?
Soil.
The soil. And I told you guys when I shared with you all this parable, I read it to you guys line by line. I said the soil is the heart. And I know someone else is like, oh no, the soil is whatever. It's like, no, and that's why you're struggling, because you're not understanding. The soil is the actual heart. The heart or the mind of your understanding. Literally what we talked about yesterday. I'm actually trying to teach you guys for the past couple of weeks. Those of you guys who aren't getting results, it's nothing wrong with the seed. It's something wrong with you. It's something wrong with the mindset, the heart. If you're not believing in yourself, what you metaphorically would have to do, if you're someone who's a farmer, is you would have to till the ground that you have. Okay. Some of you guys have literally like concrete for ground because you haven't tilled it. You've allowed other things of doubt and everything else to actually be planted in your mind. Okay. So again, there's nothing wrong with the seed. And again, even when for the live sessions that we did throughout the different communities, there was nothing wrong with the seed. It was solely an issue of the heart or of the mind. It's a metaphor for the heart. Okay. Now, you can read this on your own. Told you guys that when you actually read the scripture, one of the things is that he mentions, hold on 1 second here. One second. All right. Okay. When you read this parable, at the end of the parable, he says, whoever has ears, let him hear. Everyone had an ear, right? It's a metaphor. Whoever has the right soil to allow that seed to be planted, those are the ones that we're working with. Now, here's what's going to happen in this metaphor. In this actual thing, he talks about there's seed that is planted that was ate up by the birds. In other words, the moment that he spoke that thing, distractions came up and the person never even realized what happened. An example of this is when I talk to some of you guys, I'm like, yeah, we covered it. I'm like, yeah, actually, it's literally in the app. You just click on learn and you just click on buyer and it gives you the buyer script. That's a metaphor of the seed was sown and it didn't even make it inside of your ear because you had your own distractions. The distractions again has, you guys get it. It says some fell on rocky places, right? With not much soil. It sprung up quickly. In other words, someone would have a result, right? But because the soil was shallow, when a challenge came up, aka the sun, the plants were scorched. It didn't last because it had no true roots. Why did it not have a root? Because there was not enough time invested for the seed to actually grow. Others fell among thorns and they got planted up. Still others fell on good soil and were produced. Now, out of these 4 different soils, only 25%, aka 1 out of 4 actually produced. I'm letting you know this right now so you guys understand. Some of you guys are starting to get results. And what that means is going forward after today, when we have these morning sessions, the focus is going to be on helping those who are getting results to get more results. When we cover that parable, at the very end of the parable, it says, he that has, more will be given. And he who has not, even what he doesn't have, will be taken away. And what that means is if you're not willing to toil your own ground, when we have these sessions, I'm no longer going to be dragging you along. I hope you guys understand that. All right. Because it's now no longer going to be fair for those who are beginning to grow their plants. Make sense? Everyone's good?
Yes.
And just as another example, so you guys can see it. Okay, cool. Just as you guys also see it, the swine and pearls, for example, right? Don't throw your pearls among swine. Anthony, yesterday when you met, we were calling hedge funds. What I want you to do is send Marcus and I an email, and Marcus will send you, he'll copy and paste our contact for First Key Homes. He'll copy and just tell him like, hey, Leland wants me to let you know to copy and paste our hedge fund connection for First Key Homes. Okay. Just as an example, Anthony and I met, just like all you guys have access to do that. You can schedule time on my calendar. Anthony was like, hey, can we make phone calls together? Absolutely. As it says, more will be given, right? You take the step, I take the step. Any questions on that? Like, I don't want anyone to get confused. So like going forward, I have to focus on those who are basically about to close their deals, right? Everyone got that so far? We're good?
Yes.
All right, awesome, cool. All right, I'm gonna close this out. I believe you guys know where to find this again. Just real quick for those who didn't see. When you log into the app, someone's drawing on a thing. Okay, when you log into the app, you click on Learn. You're gonna scroll down to where you see Live, and what we'll do is we'll make, like right now we're on Zoom. We'll put a private Zoom link so you're also able to watch it live on the app. All right. This is primarily to help some people out that still going to be having issues, right? So there's always going to be a delay just because of technology, right? But that is where you'll find it. All right. We're good there. We're good there. We're good there. All right. Let me see. Is Melissa here? If not, we'll have to continue.
I'm here.
Oh, Melissa is here. Okay. All right, Melissa, let's do yours first. Can you go ahead and tell me the address again?
Yes, let me find it.
Okay.
(1822) Connor Avenue, Waco, Texas.
Connor with 2 N's?
CONNOR.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Yesterday, Melissa and I were able to speak with a realtor. The realtor mentioned that she comes across deals that are good for seller financing. And she has a few other opportunities of rentals. And this is one of the properties that is not a rental. This one's vacant. So in the conversation yesterday, the realtor vaguely told us, not to say vaguely, she was okay. She told us kind of what the seller was anticipating or what he or she wanted, okay? So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna run the comps using PropStream. After we run the comps using PropStream, we're gonna put a proposal into REI Black Book to give 2 sets of offers, okay? So that's what we're doing. That's what you guys are watching live. Feel free to, ask any questions. So just one more time, we're gonna give a cash offer and we're gonna give a seller financing offer. Why? Because in the conversation, what was discovered was that the seller will consider seller financing, and the seller obviously would like cash, like an all cash offer. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go on comps, and I'm obviously not in Waco. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. But what I always do for many areas in the United States is I make my distance like a 0.3 or 0.2. Okay. And on PropStream, it will filter out a little bit. What I'm looking for now is anything that is an outlier. So anything that is like too high or too low, right? So if someone, for example, if someone bought a house for 10 grand, I would immediately untick that, right, to take it off. Okay. So this one right here that was purchased for 687,000. If I click this property, click on details, what I would assume is that the property was either bought in a package or it was in a much better condition. So I have a loan value of 550 on a home where the average is 137. So that's interesting. So I think I'm going to take that one out. All right. So now I have an average price of 147. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click where it says actions and click view comp report. I am using Google Chrome, so it's going to pop up at the bottom. I'm going to look at the actual comp here. PropStream is telling me that it is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We got a high of 234. I got an average of 147. And okay, this is basically what we saw earlier. Just looking at it. All right. So within the last, we're in September. So this one looks to be the most recent of 234. I wish I could get some more pictures to get a better idea what it looks like. All right. We see that earlier in the year, it was listed for 108 and it failed. And I think it was listed prior at 95 and that failed. They tried again. All right, cool. So I have my comp. My comp is going to be an average of 147. And then Melissa, from your understanding, would you say that 147 as an after repair value would be accurate, or is it off?
I think that would be close to accurate.
Okay. I'm now going to put this information into REI Black Book. And of course, Melissa has the, what do you call it? The pictures too for the property. Not sure if that's necessary to show you guys at the moment. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go under, let's start with the all cash offer. So from what you guys understand, when you're looking at something like the, for those of you guys who have gone through the training or any training, I guess, what normally would an investor want to offer or buy something for, right? Because remember, investors don't trade things for dollar, right?
Yeah, that's
what percentage, right? What percentage?
They want to get the lowest price possible.
Right. And so the maximum that an investor would pay would be 80%. And that's going to be if everything is perfect. Okay. So in this case, we know that not the right one. This is the right one. So in this case, on the MLS, we have it was as a 108, but I think she said something else. She said 130 something is what he wanted.
He wants, can you hear me? He wants
Yes.
139.9.
Okay.
Seller finance.
And if it was cash, he would take the
She didn't really say that I can recall what his cash price would be. She said make an offer.
Okay. All I'm doing right now is I'm just pulling this information directly from PropStream. All right, property tax. I don't know what the insurance would be, but typically 1,200 is really good. That's really all that I need for now. So if it is 70%, this is what that would be, right? So I will keep that probably closer to about, it needs some renovations, so I'll keep it at 60%. The next thing is for the seller financing piece. If he's requesting 139.99, then all I would do at that point is I would look at a 10%. So I'm round up and say 14,000 of a down payment. It's so hard to know how much renovations it would need unless a contractor looks at it. But I would assume that it would need $30,000 of renovations. That's just me making an assumption. And
do you assume higher or lower? Do you try to? How do you?
I try to get a little bit lower. I mean, excuse me, a little bit higher.
Right.
But I never know until I actually send the contractor out there. And she mentioned that it'll have to be something that is under 10 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say we put 7 years there, and get my calculator out again.
What are you calculating right there?
Where it says first position note?
Yeah.
So if I'm offering him seller financing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making the down payment 14,000, the difference between 139.99 minus the 14,000
Okay.
should be this number. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's actually going to be a little bit higher. Let me show you guys real quick when I calculate. Hold on. And then for an interest rate, put 6%.
How'd you come up with 6%?
These are all variables that I have to put in so I know what the.
So you just decided 6% was a good percentage?
No, I'm testing variables right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to rentometer or rentometer so that I can understand what the average rent is in the area. So I'll take an 850 for that. And what this is telling me, the reason I'm doing it, is the amount that I'm paying needs to be under my average rent. Does that make sense for everyone?
Right.
Okay. So just so you guys, all right. So the way that mortgages work, right, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, But the way mortgages works is the two primary factors that handle how much someone is paying is either the interest rate or the term. So just as an example, if I keep the interest rate the same, but if I were to extend, as in make it a larger term, the monthly amount is different. Okay. So I think we're good there. You guys understand that part, right? Everyone's good with understanding that? Yes?
Yeah, that makes
Okay, cool. So if I know that the max that he'll do is 10 years, and I want to see what it would look like if it was a 2%, that's still not going to work for the amount. I wonder if I make it interest only, will that work? So now if it's interest only, let's say it's 5%. So now I'm paying $525. And if I get a tenant in there for $850, give her, a little over $300 a month. So for 12 months for that cash flow, only getting $3,900. If someone's investing, if someone's investing $14,000, if it was in a good condition, that would be a 27% return on investment, but it's $3,900. If somebody were investing not just $14,000, also innovation of $30,000, that's $44,000. That's an 8% return on their money, scraping by with inflation. All right. All right. So here's what this deal analysis is saying. It's saying it was 14,000 down, renovations of 30,000, and it's an interest only loan at 5%. In other words, the full balance will have to be due within 10 years. Okay. There's principal and payments of $525. As you guys know, there is property taxes, and then there's also insurance. So that one will be too close to work.
Leland, why didn't we put in utilities?
Initially, when you're doing utilities, well, I'm making the assumption that this will be for a renter. Like
Okay.
that the idea would be to rent the property out. Does that make sense or
Yeah.
not fully?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think after this offer is made, the next thing that I'll do is a counter, because I'll probably change it to 5 years. So cool. All right. So now I'm gonna go to offer letter. And so basically gives you a template of what you're able to use. And what I'm going to choose here. Oh, I didn't do that. Oops. So sorry.
That's the wrong address on there, by the way.
Gurley is?
Yeah, it's a Connor. That's the
right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
7, 6. And I need to go back to breakdown. Yeah. And we find it. Hopefully nothing changes within 10 years. All right. So I'm gonna put this into interest only.
I have a question about interest only. Why would you make that offer interest only?
Because when we go through, where is this thing at? So if we don't make it interest only, what will happen is you would have to pay interest and principal. And if it's interest and principal, even at 2%, this is the amount that someone's paying. Because it's over 10 years. Does
Okay.
that make sense or not? Or it still doesn't make sense?
So then how do you pay off the balance? You would have to sell the property at the end of the 10 years or whatever, right?
You talk about for interest only?
Yeah, like you have to
Yeah,
pay off the balance.
you would have to pay off the balance by either refinancing or selling the property.
Okay. And you can refinance through a regular bank?
Yep. As long as you have the proper credit, yeah.
Okay.
All right, Felisa, does this answer your question? Why interest only instead of a full principal and insurance?
Yes, it's a balloon payment at the end.
Yeah, because he mentioned that he's not willing to do anything past 10 years. So even if I put 10 years here and I still am paying full amortization, which is principal and interest of the full amount, even with it being let's say it's 1%, you're not going to be able to cash flow. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And like, so earlier when I said the two biggest factors that allow you to change your monthly payment is going to be either your term, as in like the time frame, or the interest rate.
Okay.
Okay.
As a regular person, this doesn't sound appealing, but is this appealing to experienced buyers?
To experienced investors,
Yeah.
if it is balance 2 and 10, hold on. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to pay 10%, 10 years, yeah, if you're going to pay basically $210 a month and you're able to put a tenant in the property for $850, and then in 10 years you're able to refinance, then yeah. Because if you're paying $210 out of the $850, you're going to have what, $640 left a month, and you could still make that payment to principal. And when it's time to refinance, fingers crossed, within 10 years, and you can refinance before 10 years, by the way, but fingers crossed, you would think to yourself like, oh, I might be able to have a property that appreciated in value, that will have more, they'll have more value.
Okay.
Okay.
As it should, if you're updating it, it should have more value, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like fingers crossed. Like, ooh, I hope so.
Right.
But and then let's say that we're also going to ask for the delayed payment of 6 months to renovate. And now here's the thing. I know that they're going to counter because that's what they're going to do. But we're asking for a delayed payment because we're going to try to say in negotiations like, hey, we have to fix it up and we have to put in extra money in addition to the 14 grand that he's getting as a down payment. Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to hit save. I'm going to put this in the chat for you so that you have it. And this will be the first offer. Offer 1. All right. Next one.
Hey, Leland.
Yes.
Can you do a video on this as well?
Yeah, this is recording, by the way, but yeah.
Okay.
But yes, I can. All right, Felisa, the next address is what?
3327 Blue Pine. It's one of them.
Okay, give me 1 second. So yesterday, spoke on the phone with Felisa and an investor. Yep, Hector here. All right. And he's looking to sell his 3 properties. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. And go to comparables. Again, the reason that I do the 0.3, like as an example, seriously, it's literally a highway right here, but it's gonna pull comps from across the highway. Like it could be a different community, all that stuff. So 0.3, get a better zoom in. And I might do a 0.2. Now think about it.
I did Do you leave that default date there or change the date?
Oh, this range? I
Uh-huh.
do. I leave it. I know some people just make it into 6 months. But for me, I leave it there. You can
Uh-huh.
change it if you want. If you do change it, I mean, just change it to the 6 month rule. That's what most realtors do. All right. So for example, here, outliers again, you guys see like something was sold for $0, right? You also see that something was sold, quote unquote, for $900. So those are considered outliers. I'm not going to include those. And I don't know. I have to look at it real quick. Is this a condo?
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take off all the ones that have really, really low values. Sometimes what happens is when realtors put their listings up, if sometimes they're leasing the property, they still put it on the MLS as an actual listing. And, you know, they're just lazy sometimes. They don't care. So the prop stream just scrapes all that data. All right. This is telling us that the average is 67,000. So that's cool. Like I'm missing one of these. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I still got the same results. I feel like I could put this in the, interesting. Let's see.
What do you mean when interesting about that one?
So they've taken this one out, but because they have it right here. And what probably happened is that it was probably sold multiple times within the same. Yeah, it was sold multiple times. Yeah. So all that just means that Andrew, who was the seller, he sold it as an assignment fee, basically, or double close to this company, who then double closed to this family. And that's why it showed up twice when I was looking at it. So yeah, so that's why I showed up twice. That's anyway, that's what I was doing. All right, so I have that downloaded. We're gonna go ahead and put this into the thing. Yes.
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
Double close, like how is that possible? You said within the same year?
Yeah, you could double close within the same day. Just okay. So
you're closing to the seller and closing to the buyer.
yeah.
Then what happened was that the buyer, the original buyer of the property, then double closed to someone else.
Hmm?
Yeah. So what we'll have to do is yeah. All right. So a double close is when I know it's in there, but anyway, so a double close is when you are let's see, where's the link? Is this the link? So a double close is when I have a buyer and I have a seller, but instead of me assigning the property, I am going to close one transaction and then open up the other. So for Melissa and Ty, for the deals that you guys do with Mitchell, and I think I put that in the email to you guys. We would double close those properties if the value is going to be over $7,000 of a really $10,000 of a spread. Okay.
Right.
So for those who don't know what that means, it means you haven't been watching the videos. So what that means is if this is the seller, put seller here. And if I have an agreement with the seller for, let's say, $100,000, and I have a buyer, we'll put this for buyer, and I have an agreement for the buyer for, let's say, $150,000, I could use a separate document, which is called an assignment agreement, which you already have access to. Okay. And my assignment fee would be that of the difference, which is $50,000. Okay. Is everyone good there so far?
Yes.
Okay. When I do that, that normally means there's going to be one HUD statement. And that HUD statement is going to show how much I am earning on both sides. So that means that the seller whom I negotiated down to 100,000, they might be thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, Leland's going to make 50 grand and he didn't even own this house. Okay. The buyer whom I've also negotiated him or her up on their price, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I should have negotiated Leland down at least 40 grand. All right. Because now I could have bought it for 110 instead of 150. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So to alleviate that, like to protect myself, to make sure that I get the money that I want out of the deal, what I would do instead is I would have a double close. So again, like with the seller here and then with the buyer here, but I would put myself in the middle of the transaction. And what's going to happen is from the seller's perspective, he and her or her and I or whatever, him and him or whatever, we're going to have one transaction that shows up. And then the buyer and I are going to have one transaction that shows up. And this is called an ABC transaction or a double close. So when the seller looks at their closing statement, all they see is that they're selling their property to me. When the buyer looks at his or her closing statement, all they see is that they're buying the property from me. Now, I technically only own that home for a few seconds. Okay. I could either use the buyer's money to do it, or I could use this company's money to do it for transactional funding. And in this video, I show you a few deals in which I use this company to do that. But Athena, you need to focus on step one. Okay. When you're ready for this is here for you. But for now, just focus on step one. Okay. But a double close is a way that you're able to protect yourself to make more money. All right.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. And this is available for everybody. This is here for everyone. But again, we don't go over this yet because this is like step 50 and most of you guys aren't at that step yet. Okay. All right.
Transactional funding is only for double close. It's not like a hedge fund.
No, it's just for double closing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here, let me save this for Melissa. Sometimes a seller might say, oh, you're only offering me X amount of dollars. Where did you get that number from? And you can show them like, okay, well, here are the comps that we used. Okay. All right. I'm gonna close this out. We're gonna go back here to where we were. All right. So now I am going to just make another one of these. And what we're going to do here, pause it real quick. Offer generator. And boom. 46224. Give me 1 second. Okay. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen a little bit? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to do the same thing that we've done before. We're going to put in some of the details here. Felisa, real quick, you recall what he mentioned that he is interested in as far as a price?
Yes, he was asking 115. Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I'm going to put the asking price of 115 in here. And just so you guys know, I mean, unless PropStream is wrong, I don't think that's where the value is on this. I think what we have is a value of 67,000. Let me see what they claim on the MLS that they had. Yeah, so he bought it for 53.
Mhm.
Yeah, the property hasn't. So maybe I'll give it a 70,000. That's about it. I'll go ahead and put in the other details. See what we got for property taxes. There we go. Again, 1,200. All right, cool. So all cash offer, as we spoke to him earlier, we said it. He said it has a tenant already. So 80% would be 92,000. Yeah, still pretty high. What I'm doing right now is I'm kind of backtracking a little bit. So I'll add that offer there. Cool. And I think that was it for him, right? He didn't mention that he was open to seller financing on that, right?
No,
No.
I think he said he would consider seller financing on the Bellevue. I think he said.
Okay. This one is okay. I'm just gonna save this for you real quick. Yeah, I mean, I can only go off what the comps say. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
it seemed like it was way high.
Yeah, that seemed like it was off, but that's okay. No worries. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna go back here, and we'll do the next one. What's the next one again?
It is 226 North Bellevue, Belleview Place.
Man, that's tough though.
Leland,
Tough for me to spell, huh?
wouldn't that be an opportunity to renegotiate?
Here
with
it
them?
is.
Like,
I'm
hey,
sorry.
you know, the property was purchased at this amount of money, and all your comparable properties around it that was sold at this price. Wouldn't that be an opportunity to renegotiate the price with them?
Yep, and that's all we're doing. We're just giving offers. We haven't even gotten to like a hard negotiation yet. But yes, absolutely. So all I'm doing right now is I'm basically like gathering data. So like, for example, when I give them that offer of, I think like 60-something thousand, and it has a tenant in it, blah, blah, blah. So when I give them the offer of 60,000, he more than likely is going to say like, God damn, what the, you know, what made you, you know, I told you I wanted one, whatever. I told you I wanted 130. Why are you insulting me with 60,000? And I'm going to say, Hector, let me send you over the comps that we have, and you let me know if this makes sense to you. You know, the comps that I have are showing that at best, when this property is renovated, it's 70,000. You know, you're telling me that there's a tenant in it that's paying, I think he said like 850 or whatever. So
800 to 900.
yeah, so I'm assuming that it's already in good livable condition. So plus as investors, you know, we have to buy with equity inside the property. So, but yes, absolutely. All right. So let me put this in here. Oops. Were you saying something? Was that somebody talking? Sorry.
It wasn't me. I heard something too. It's like somebody's microphone.
Okay. All right.
Should
Give
I
me 1
mute?
second to pull this next one up. All right. All righty. Okay. So now for this one, what was his asking price again that he mentioned?
On this one, he's asking. Oh, he put it in his.
Oh, property taxes.
Is it on the lee-chandler tab? Because I put it in there, I think. I just don't see it on the email. Yeah.
All right, this one has a gross of 2,300 a month, blah, blah. He's asking 195, is that right?
I came up with that from, yes, it is. It's highlighted here on my email. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right, he's asking 195 for it. Cool. So I'm gonna just do the same thing. I wonder what he bought it for. All right, so he bought it for 55. Okay. Do the same thing, 0.2. Looking for my outliers. It's like someone bought a house for 3,500 bucks. It's an outlier. So just so you guys know, like this one, it's a residential property. Sometimes people try to pretend that residential areas that are like quote unquote multifamilies, they try to pretend that it's meant to be written or underwritten as an apartment, but it's not because the financing is different. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting one comp that shows the property as a duplex, as it is, because he has 3 tenants in the property. And then I'm going to take it back here to single family only and show the comps of that as well. Okay. So single family properties typically have a higher comp value because people normally want to pay more for it. All right. Any questions on that part though? Everyone's good? Okay. Cool. Fair market value for this house. I think it would be that, but let's see. He's right here. Closest one is that one. Let me see what this looks like on Zillow. Wait. If Zillow has any pictures.
Didn't he send on, isn't it on the link?
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that he has pictures. I was talking about pictures of someone else's property. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So I was just trying to get the fair market value. So I'm just going to put this the same. Oops, definitely not. All right, cool. And now we're going to go to an all cash offer. Again, it'll be about tenant 75%. And is this the one he mentioned he was open to some kind of select financing or not?
Yes.
Really? Yes.
He said he's flexible.
All right, yeah, to say flexible. So on this one, He doesn't have a mortgage. He's getting $2,300 a month. Whew. He wants 195 is what he'll prefer. And 10% down payment. Let's do a 5-year. Right there, 4% interest. Monthly payment will be $3,200, and that is less than that. So again, here we go. It can't be done with that. So then it has to be interest only again, because it's just such tight numbers. So again, do a 5, and we'll try a 5 here. He's asking for 195. Down payment could be 10. So just so, like, for example, what would happen? Oops, sorry. 10%. So here's how, if he agrees to this is what will happen. Lisa, and we'll figure out what he agrees to or not. But he'll probably take this. If I was him, I would take this. Have my balance due in 5 years, maybe. Yeah, I would take this offer if I was him. Only because as a landlord, I know that if something's grossing 2,300, he's probably only seeing about $700 a month. I would take this offer. We'll see what he says. But what will happen is if he takes one of these offers that are seller financing, when we market it to other people, instead of a 10% down payment, we'll tell them that it's like a 15% down payment, and that 5% or so would be for the assignment fee.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So those would be his two offers there. All right, and let's do the third one real quick.
It is, you ready?
Hold on one second. Sorry. Just noticed something. There we go. Hold on one second. Almost there. Okay. Yes, I am ready.
4731 East 18th Street. That's it.
Yeah, 0.5 is just way too big. 0.2. And this was like a regular house, right?
Yes.
Any outliers that I have here? Yes. Definitely. That 78 is tough. So I'm gonna weigh some stuff down. Okay, so 136. If I take this 78, does it change my average price? Not too much. So I'll take it out. Okay. So I'm gonna download this comp real quick. Cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and put this one in as well. And this one, did he mention if he was flexible or not? I don't remember.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because he's asked him 139.
All right.
He may be, but I just recall the other one. He said he was flexible.
Oops.
And this is in one of those up and coming areas.
Okay. So 139.
Yes.
Oops. 139. Okay. For my average comp, I am getting about a 1. 44. Yeah, it's probably not true. It's probably like 140 if it's really in good condition. Let's get my property tax. Oh, he has a mortgage on it. Yikes. Okay.
1,036 down there.
Oh, thank you. And insurance, $1,200. He does have a mortgage. And his mortgage is approximately 90,000, 5.27% approximately. I think it's a 30-year mortgage, 5.27. Cool. Yes, the lender is that's a private 60. All right, cool. So with this one, again, as a tenant, it's going to be about 70. We'll probably end at 80. And then subject to 139. I will put, let me mute somebody real quick. I want to put
Leland, why did we put 100% of asking price on this one? In that
I'm looking at if this was to offer subject to, it would be to take over the mortgage. He has an existing mortgage right here.
Okay.
So let's keep it there. Okay. So Felisa, I'm going to send this to you along with the comps, and I'm sure, and then just ask them like, hey, when can we get on a call to discuss? Okay.
Okay, I'll get a time that's good for him and look at your calendar.
Okay. Yeah, and then we'll just, and then, we'll have the conversation with him because they always ask, why the hell is this offer so low? It's like, because this is what showed up. If you can find me anything that has sold in that area that you claim is at that number, then cool.
Hector knows.
No, yeah, he's an investor. So we already told him on the call yesterday that we need at least 20% discount. Okay. Melissa, Felisa, Brandon, and Miss Coleman. Please let Marcus know the specific areas that you will be working your leads. Again, as you guys know, like just one more time again, when we're working our leads, we are not just going to like call and that's it. Remember, the whole point with the leads is that we understand how to follow up, right? So if you need access to that, just click on your first 10K wholesaling and just click on right here where it says follow up. And there's a document as well. You will just use that document. You can copy and paste. You can literally copy and paste when it comes to your text messages. Okay. So you call, leave a voicemail, text message. If you're going to outsource, which is fine, whomever you're outsourcing to, whatever virtual assistant you're using, copy and paste to them the follow-up methods you want them to use. So that would mean, give them the 5 or 6 text messages you want them to use throughout the week. Give them a little slurb or whatever verb, whatever, what they're going to say on the phone with the person. Okay. Remember, when it comes to marketing, the entire thing is there needs to be at least 7 touches, right? 7 touches, 7 touches. And so again, sometimes on the skip trace, we get the emails. If so, you can use literally the email scripts we have here for you guys, phone scripts, text message scripts. You just change the name from seller name to their name. Voicemail scripts as well for voicemail drops, and email scripts. Okay. So if it's an email, text message, voicemail, whatever, all those count as 1 each, or you can have multiple of each. All right. Any questions there? Everyone's good?
I have one quick question. I have buyers lined up.
Mhm.
And they are looking for properties in Phoenix now. And, you know, not to be rude and say now I gotta have them, but what I'm saying is, should I circle back around to find sellers for Phoenix?
You're asking, like, should you find buyers should you find sellers for your buyers?
Yes.
Yeah, outside of the deals. Yeah. So like, even though you have 4 deals you're working on right now, you still are going to add more deals. That's how you get multiple paydays.
So I just circled back around because we segmented the team to look for sellers, foreclosures, and some other area that's in the email.
Yeah, I know that Coleman is in your team, but is Brandon on your team? I don't think he is.
No,
Huh?
he isn't. He isn't.
He isn't, right? So your team isn't equipped to help you yet because they still have to get their 10.
So I need to go out there and get the sellers, right? Or no?
At the moment, you're going to have to, because the rest of your team hasn't pulled their weight and
Wait a second. I have a
helping
list.
themselves. Say it again. Who's this, Melissa?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have out of team 1, and I guess everyone else can drop off because you guys haven't done what you have to do. So you don't need to listen to this. But out of team 1, the people that have pulled their weight out of team 1, I think, is Melissa, Coleman, and Felisa, right? It's just you 3? Huh? Who's talking?
I remember
Yeah,
us being on the call. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Renee was on the call too, and she said that she was going to pull lists on her own for foreclosures, I think.
Okay. But has Renee added her 10 buyers though?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah.
Do I need to find
I'm
10
not
buyers
concerned.
also for Phoenix? I thought we were splitting that up, and
And
Felisa was finding the buyers and we were
and
finding the sellers.
I have found them. And that's why, and they're looking for properties. That's why I asked, should I circle back around and find sellers in Phoenix?
I have a list, but I haven't called anybody. I just need a little bit of help to figure out how to do the acquisition of calling, like the actual computer part.
Okay. The computer part for like putting it into active campaign.
Yeah, I've been trying, that I've been having trouble like sending a list to Marcus because I have a freaking Apple computer, so it's not compatible with anybody's stuff. So I'm at a struggle here with that.
What did you say about Apple?
I tried to email a list of buyers to Marcus for Waco, and when he opened the list, he doesn't understand it because my computer uses numbers, or Mac uses numbers, and not whatever Excel or whatever Google uses.
Can't you download the list and upload it to him?
I don't exactly. I don't know. I don't know.
She's saying she doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk to her, Leland? Because I have a Mac.
I'm using a Mac right now. So what you would do, you can try this, Melissa, and if it doesn't work, then you can send it to myself. But what you would do is on your computer, you would go to File under like Numbers. You go to File. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me try to open up Numbers on my computer. And I don't like Numbers myself, but in the future I would just use what do you call the thing? Google Sheets. But let me try to open up a document on numbers real quick. And I can show you.
I use sheets and some of my lists are in Excel. It's XSLX, I think, but I download them to my computer and then upload it to Marcus.
All right, so this is I'm on a Mac. This is the numbers platform. Let me try to make it larger. Maybe that will help. Okay, so when you on the top left, you're gonna click on where it says file. Can you see my screen though? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I
Can you see
see
the
it.
file area?
Yeah.
You guys can? Okay. All right. So I click on
Yeah,
file,
I'm here.
and when I hit export, it gives me the option of exporting as a PDF, an Excel, a CSV, a TSV, and numbers, right? And you will just
Yeah.
export as Excel. Don't export it as
Excel.
numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you hit Excel, if you don't have Excel on your computer, it's not going to allow you to open it, and that's fine. When it exports it to your downloads, just upload it as an email.
Upload it as an email.
Yeah,
And attach
don't
that
open it.
file.
Yeah, and don't open it at all, because if you open it, your Mac is going to like reconfigure it. So
Oh, so that's just like when I click on it from my downloads, it automatically opens it.
yeah, don't
I don't know how
like
to
when
not do
you
that.
download it, just like after it downloads, just you
Mhm.
upload it. You don't open it at all, because your Mac will try to reconfigure it. Okay.
Okay, I'll work on that today.
Nick
Melissa,
said,
too.
I sent Marcus
That's
a
gonna-
list
this
to
is-
run. Back from
This is
him.
my biggest handicap is this stuff right here.
Melissa, they also give free Apple classes too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Nick said, okay, Miss Young says, when logging into PropStream, what credentials do we use? Did you request your credentials for Marcus? Because I don't have them.
Yes, I did request.
You did? Okay. Did he give them to you?
No,
Did
that's
you
why.
request them while we've been on the chat or while we've been on the call?
Not today. No, not today. I've requested them in the past, like maybe a week or so ago when I was, maybe a few days ago rather, when I was trying to finish up my buyers list. I wanted to go on stream.
Okay. So let's do this real quick and allow me to be mean to you guys.
Okay.
If you're waiting on PropStream to finish your buyers list.
No, that was just an added that I wanted to go on there just to look on it. I'm not really waiting for them, but I'm still doing other things that's on the that's in the training. So I've made some contact, but today I'm definitely going to get on that because I hear you. I hear where you going, brother.
Yeah. I was gonna say PropStream or not, get your buyers list.
That's exactly. But I still want access to it. You know what I mean? But
You will. Like,
okay.
There's nothing to hide. I'm
No,
literally trying to help you guys. But here's my thing. All right. Let's say I give you the login for PropStream. What you gonna do with it? I'm just being real. What you gonna do with it?
No, I was gonna go look for landlords and stuff because I've been looking for I have all the information for the hedge funds. I went on Facebook and joined some groups to try to get other like flippers and stuff. But I wanted to really look for the people to buy and hold the landlords, and I thought that stream would be a better option.
Oh, okay. All right. Look, in addition to, you can use PropStream. You can still find your landlords and your flippers without needing PropStream. And I'll give you guys an example real quick. All right, hold on one second. It just depends on how much you're willing to read, but you can still do it. Now look, here's what we're gonna do. So like Nick made the comment a couple of days ago saying that he couldn't find something. And how to find buyers. So we have hedge funds right here. And this is the one that I did for Mr. Anthony yesterday. So that's in there. And then for flippers, this is still using the Inc. 5 5,000, you're able to still find flippers there, right? For landlords, we're still able to do the same thing, because what will happen is, let me just do this real quick. So I'm a landlord, right? So I'm gonna say rental investment loans. Oh man. And let's say I go to Vizio Lending for my rentals. And all I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for like testimonials. Okay, let's see what this message is from. I couldn't find flippers, found some on PropStream, waiting to get more of the info. All right. So Nick, what I would suggest is on this video right here, where it says finding flippers, what you'll do is you'll go to you'll pick a lender. You would go to the lender's website, normally at the bottom, and they will give you testimonials of people who are flippers. And then you would copy and paste that person's name into Google, and you would have the flipper, because most of them want to be found. So you would have their information. Okay. So even if you're not using PropStream, you could just use that same website, the Inc. 5000, go to a lender's website, look for their testimonials. That's what I'm doing right now. Reviews. And if someone is a rental investor, for example, for Miss Young, I could reach out to Oscar. Oops, go back. I could reach out to Oscar and I can network with him. So even if I'm not using PropStream, I could do this. I could use LinkedIn. I could still find the person. Just like with this or a hedge fund, I could also go to LinkedIn. And what I was going to say earlier was, like, if you guys are problem solvers, and if you're driving down the street and there's something that tells you that one lane is closed, you're going to make a detour and you're going to still make it to your destination. And it's going to be the same with this too. So like, yeah, Marcus is asleep probably until, I don't know, what time is it? He'll be asleep until like 1 p.m. All right. When he wakes up at 1 p.m., sometimes he's up earlier than that, but when he wakes up at 1 p.m., he will respond to your message and all that good stuff. But you could wait until 1 p.m. or you could make an alternative route. And then when he calls you at 1 p.m., you'll just have more buyers. All right. So, but yeah, that's there for you. If you want to see me do that, that is there. All right. Cool. Today is the last time outside of new people that we'll be going over finding buyers. Okay. Everyone else who's not there yet, outside of like the people who have started today, you'll just have to catch up. All right. Cool. That is it. I'm out of here. I think is Hank still here? Hank, you have any closing remarks that you have for people?
No, for me, because you are painting by numbers for people, and people are using different colors, they decide that, okay, I'm not going to paint with orange or green or purple. I'm going to use a different color. Your mosaic is going to look a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you're going to still have a nice mosaic. I don't know whether I'm making sense here for you. And point I'm making to you is you've got a lot of tools. And we're continuing to give you more tools and tools on top of tools on top of tools. If you plant too many seeds, what comes up out of the ground is so thick that you have to end up thinning it out.
Weeds.
I'm sorry?
Weeds.
Well, not just weeds, yeah. So what I'm getting at is it's now being layered and layered and layered. And all we have to do is, based on our own priorities and our own initiatives, okay? May not be as quick as Felicia or as someone else. Don't be discouraged by that. All you got to do is get on your horse and have your horse to walk. They may be trotting or galloping now. You're not skillful enough to do that yet, but you got to get on the horse. And that's all. The tools are just there. And I applaud Marcus and Leland for going back, recognizing that a couple of weeks ago, we talked about some of the frustrations. He's making it crystal clear now. Okay. It's no longer the first day of classes. You know, we're 6 weeks in, and some of the stuff should be becoming somewhat routine for you. And that's all I got to say.
I have a question. Does the classes start over? Because I joined late.
Oh, no, they don't, honey, because I had to spend a weekend catching up.
I can remember changing schools in the middle of a school year, and I had to catch up. The teacher couldn't wait for me. Okay. So which means then that the 5 hours or the 2 hours or the 1 hour that you're spending on your business each day, you're going to have to sleep a little bit less to be able to do a little bit more. So just create a new routine for a short period of time. Okay.
Got
Make
it.
sense?
Amen, brethren.
All right. Anything else for me?
No, have a good day.
God bless. And thank you guys for being patient with me. My family crises are getting back to normal now, so I can handle them when they're normal.
Good.